What's up, Vatos? What's up, guys? Alan Horn here again with Utah Window Experts, home of the full lifetime replacement window warranty. Today, we're just going to talk about different types of frame materials, different types of windows, why I need to know these things, why is there a difference, and which type of window maybe suits you and your home the best. We're just going to kind of go high level here to talk about some of the basics, but we hope to get some real specific videos out to you guys about each individual product. What are the features? What are the benefits? What are the disadvantages? And what do you get by getting a more expensive window in general? Okay, let's start out with the frame materials, and then we'll show you some specific brands and styles of windows. All right, the most basic and the most popular frame material is vinyl. PVC, as some people have called it. Plastic, I don't like that word because it sounds kind of cheap. Really not plastic. It's a high quality PVC vinyl compound. And the longer we go with these, the longer the manufacturers are making these, the better they get. Back in the late 90s, when they started using vinyl as a window compound, they weren't doing a really good job of making it high quality, a material that's going to last a long time, a material that can handle heat and cold, especially here in Utah where we get temperatures that fluctuate so much. Vinyls of nowadays are built to last a lifetime. They really are, and they're so much better. They have UV inhibitors in them, which help the window to last longer, to help the window not to warp, to help the window not to fade, not to yellow, all these sorts of things. So this is vinyl. Again, it's the most common. It's the least expensive window compound you can get. Having said that, it's a great option, and probably 80%, maybe 75% of all the windows we sell are some version, some brand of the vinyl window compound. This one happens to be an AMSCO. AMSCO is one of our main window suppliers that we sell to people. They are manufactured in Salt Lake City here in Utah. So this is an AMSCO Hampton window. We'll go into more detail in another video, but this is a Hampton vinyl window, 3.5 inches deep window this way, which is actually very substantial. This is a high-end vinyl window. Really thick, super energy efficient. There's an option for 3/4 inch glazing, which means the thickness of the glass panes right here. This one is a 3/4 inch. We have the option to go with the full inch glazing on this window, which gives you more energy efficiency, gives you the ability to do 3 panes of glass for energy efficiency. So different options in all these types of vinyl windows, and vinyl probably gives you the most options. You can go different colors, you can go different shapes, sizes, just everything. It's pretty remarkable, actually. This happens to be a white inside, white outside vinyl window. So I'm going to show you one over here. Let me grab this. This is also a vinyl window right here. This is called the AMSCO Studio. It's 3 inches on the depth right here. And it's AMSCO's, I would say, basic window. This one happens to be in a nailing fin window. It's got these nail holes right here. So this window is commonly used for new construction. We use this window a lot for replacement in our all of our replacement jobs too. So it's a very versatile window. I was talking about white vinyl a second ago. This one happens to be a black window, inside and outside vinyl window. The way they accomplish that is with a cap material. It's called a capstock material, and it's built into the window. So it's not a paint, it's not a finish. It doesn't scratch off. It's built to last a super long time. Again, it's called capstock. We can do black, we can do bronze. There's other colors we can get. It costs a little more to add that into your window, but it's extremely versatile, extremely durable, and it's built to last a lifetime. So again, we've talked about the AMSCO Hampton so far. This is the AMSCO Studio window. There's all sorts of options. Again, with the colors, you can do different grid patterns. You can do different types of glass based on how energy efficient you want it. Super versatile. The most options you can get is in the vinyl product. And there's grades. You can start kind of at the AMSCO Studio window. You can go to the AMSCO Hampton. And then we have another window line. They're called Milgard. You can go to like the Milgard Tuscany vinyl window. That vinyl window is kind of the gold standard for vinyl windows. It's got the best full lifetime warranty, including glass breakage. It's got the most sturdy vinyl compound. It's a thicker vinyl wall compound than any other vinyl window. The actual wall thickness is about 3 to 4 thousandths thicker than the rest of the windows, which is pretty significant when you get that small of a window. That small of a vinyl wall. It adds quite a bit of rigidity, sturdiness, longevity for the window. And let me pull that up real quick. All right, we've got the Milgard Tuscany window here, as I was just saying before, is the gold standard of vinyl windows. It's because of this. First of all, it's got a full lifetime warranty, including glass breakage. All of our windows have a lifetime warranty, but there's different levels of it. Amsco is a full lifetime, but doesn't include glass breakage. Milgard's a full lifetime, includes glass breakage. So all of our products warranted for a lifetime, just different small differences in between each one as per the manufacturer's warranty. Here is the Milgard Tuscany window. As with the other vinyl windows, you can get different colors. You can get different shapes, different sizes, different types of installation applications, which we're going to talk about in another video as well, called a flush fin or a Z-bar or a stucco fin. These are different types of applications you can get for installation, which we'll show you in detail in another video. Here's the Tuscany. It's a nice wide framed window. It's an architecturally looking window that is built to look more like a wood window. So a little nicer looking, a little heavier duty, a big thick window frame. As far as the depth of the window, we've got 3¼ inches on the depth from front to back. It adds rigidity, sturdiness, longevity. Again, this vinyl window, I mentioned before, quality of vinyls. Milgard creates their own vinyl window compound. You've heard other people say it, possibly as a virgin vinyl compound. Milgard makes their own virgin vinyl compound. In the case of Amsco, the window I just showed you a second ago, they buy their vinyl from a company called Micron Extrusions in Washington, where most window manufacturers buy their extrusions from, actually. So it's a very common thing. It's a high quality extrusion. Milgard makes their own, which I've been doing this 24 years. I've seen their vinyl window compounds last longer. Their longevity is better. They don't fade in the sun as much as any other vinyl window compound. So you pay a little bit more for a higher quality vinyl, but trust me when I say it is worth it for sure. Again, Tuscany window, lifetime glass breakage warranty. One thing you might have heard before as well, equal and unequal sight lines. When you get a higher end, higher quality vinyl window, you get what we call an equal sight line. So what that means is the glass in each side of the window is the same size glass in each side. You can see with the Amsco window here, I won't pick it up, but there's an Amsco Studio window, has an unequal sight line, which means the fixed side of the window, the glass is going to be slightly bigger than the sliding side of the window. That's just cheaper to manufacture, a little easier to do, which lessens the cost a little bit of that window. One thing I like to show you with the Milgard Tuscany window here is the latch. It's a smart touch lock. Really, really nice looking, high quality, nice and flush into the window frame. We have the latch and we have the nice pull rail here. We'll put up on the screen the Smart Touch latch. We can compare that to the normal cam lock like that an Amsco window has. You can see the difference. And even within the Milgard line, you have the Smart Touch lock and the Tuscany and the Smart Touch lock in the Trinsic window. That's kind of the window that's in the middle. Tuscany's up here for a vinyl window, Trinsic's in the middle, and Milgard has another window called Styline. So when you get the Tuscany window, you get this nice integrated Smart Touch lock. It opens nice and easy. You just pull it with your finger. When it shuts, it locks automatically. It's not a latch you have to flip. So when you know it shuts, it's locked. And the great thing with Milgard, they started in California. They were very concerned, very apparent. They needed high standards when it comes to forced entry. And California has the highest and most stringent forced entry codes in the nation. So when you get a Milgard window, as with the others, but Milgard has put a special emphasis on how hard it is to break into the window. So essentially what it means is it's going to be a lot easier to break the window, come through the window, as opposed to kind of jimmy the lock and open that. Again, Smart Touch lock, opens and closes nice. There's 2 pull rails right here on the sash. Shuts, locks, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. So love this window. I have that window in my home. Actually, if that says anything, I have the white vinyl. One thing about the different colors of vinyl, the more more extravagant you want to get on colors, if you want to do a custom color, if you want the cap stock, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, it's going to cost a little bit more. The cheapest, probably the most we sell generally, is the white vinyl window. However, as you've seen, black is becoming really popular, costs a little bit more. Also is a great product though. Love it. All right, you've seen the Tuscany window. One thing I want to show you on the Tuscany window is the screen. This is a screen from the Milgard Tuscany window. I just took it out of that window right here. They've recently improved these, which I absolutely love the upgrades they've made on this. Weather stripping that goes all around the screen. This is actually pretty uncommon. You're not going to see this. There's maybe one other manufacturer in the US that actually does this on their screen. Weather stripping all the way around the screen. It's got an integrated pull rail right here in the screen. Instead of these little tabs, like you can see this from the camera, the Amsco screen has a tab that pulls out right here. Sometimes they can wear out over time. Sometimes they get brittle. Those can break off. But this is an extruded metal rail into the frame. And when I say extruded, Milgard now with these Tuscany screens are extruding the whole screen. So the frame is what I mean by the screen frame is extruded. Now, usually what most vinyl window manufacturers do, they call it a roll form metal screen material. Extruded screens versus roll form screens. Extruded is actually built, it's made, it's manufactured with this profile. Roll form, what they do with that, again, which is what 99% of all the other window manufacturers out there will do, is they get a piece of metal about this wide, it's really thin, and they'll bend it to the screen shape. So instead of being fabricated and made in a factory extruding, they'll bend it into that shape. And what it does, it's a little thinner material, doesn't last as long, it bends, and if you hit it, if I got it like this with my fingers, I could bend a roll form screen as opposed to this extruded screen. Extremely hard to bend, much longer lasting, just a better screen. And that now it comes with every Milgard Tuscany window that has an operable sash that opens and closes. Love that feature. Obviously, it doesn't cost any more to get that. It just comes baked into the window now. Okay, that's the Milgard Tuscany window, and vinyl, essentially, I think we've covered for the most part. Besides vinyl, there's 2 or 3 other types of materials that we'll go over kind of quick. There's a aluminum window frame, which we have manufacturers. We can sell you a lot of different types of aluminum windows. We're doing those a lot in our doors now. We have big doors we can do in an Amsco, in a Milgard. We have a Eurowall product, those big, massive stacking doors you see in the home show. We sell a lot of them. They are expensive. We get people bidding them a lot, and they say, wow, that's more than I thought it was going to be. Yes, they are expensive, but they're extremely nice. We can do them in any shape, any size. Works out great. So those are aluminum. I'll show you real quick. This is an aluminum frame. This one's from Eurowall. You can see how thick the walls are here, how sturdy this is. This is going to be the sturdiest frame material you can get, the hardest, I would dare say the most longest lasting. The only drawback to aluminum is the energy efficiency. It's not going to be as energy efficient as vinyl or a fiberglass, which I'll show you here in a second. The nice thing about aluminum, if it does have a saving grace with energy efficiency, you have your 2 sides of the aluminum extrusion. We've used that word before. It is not bent to shape. It's melted and molded in a factory in a mold to make this shape. That's what extruded is. Between the 2 extrusions, inside, outside, you have what we call a thermal barrier. It's a piece of plastic that breaks the 2 pieces of aluminum in 2 pieces. And so instead of getting 1 continuous piece from the inside to outside, you have 2. And what that does is it stops the heat and cold coming in. Thermal break, we talked about that. It makes it more energy efficient than a full aluminum frame, but it's not quite as energy efficient as the other frames. Having said that, I think with the slight loss of energy efficiency, you gain that back with how stout and sturdy the frame is. We can build windows that are massive with aluminum because of how structurally strong this material is. That's aluminum. One product we sell is the Anderson 100 series window. This one they tout it as being a little bit stronger, a little bit higher quality than vinyl. I would agree with that in some aspects. It's called Fiberglass. Again, it's the Anderson window. I've heard some people say, well, this is a fiberglass window. It's actually not. It's built of a composite. It's a composite window built of vinyl, wood chips, glue, and wood. So The Anderson 100 series window is built of vinyl chips, wood chips, glue, and a composite like vinyl resin. So while it's not fiberglass, it still is a good product. It's a good window that we sell quite a bit. There are some awesome color options you can get with it. That's one of the advantages. The warranty with Anderson, their product is only warranted for about 20 years. So again, we sell a lot of this product. I like it, but I tend to steer people towards like a vinyl window or a fiberglass window. That's my opinion. Good product. Warranty's not quite as good. The vinyl, the material is not quite as good as our fiberglass material, which I'll show you real quick right here. Fiberglass. Now, I'll point you over here so we can take a look at this window. Fiberglass is the Milgard Ultra is what we call it. It's made out of actual, it's called pultruded. So it comes from the word extrusion. They get fiberglass strands. I've been to this factory in Tacoma, Washington. It's really a thing of wonder. It's amazing. They get fiberglass strands. They pull it through a mold and they pour resin on it. So to form the shape of the window. So this one is a single hung window. The frame profile varies from a single hung to a casement to a picture window. There's these different styles and types of windows. Depending on the style they make, they have a mold, they pull it through. It's a fiberglass resin. It's a marine grade fiberglass resin. So the fiberglass material is as strong, as energy efficient, and as good as a boat that's out there on the water. So they built this, developed it in Washington, out on the coast where you get wind, you get salt, you get weather, all the elements throwing at it. So this window's been around for a long time and it's not going anywhere because of the duration of the success that Milgard has had with this window. I've done fiberglass windows. I've been doing this 25 years. We've done fiberglass windows at homes 25 years ago. I go back today to look at it, to update things, to switch parts out, whatever we need to do for that full lifetime warranty. Those products still are in incredible shape. It's amazing. So the beautiful thing about fiberglass is when you get a Milgard fiberglass window, full lifetime warranty on everything, glass breakage, parts, latches, seal failure, all this stuff is all warranted for a lifetime. One nice thing about it is the expansion contraction ratio. So one thing with a vinyl window, the vinyl is going to expand and contract more than the glass on a vinyl window. So what happens over time is the vinyl is expanding and contracting at a higher rate than the glass. So eventually those parts will kind of pull apart and not fit and seal and be as tight in 50 years than a fiberglass window. So the fiberglass material expansion contraction ratio is exactly the same as the actual glass that's in the window. That's actually remarkable because not even an aluminum window will do that. Their expansion contraction ratios are actually different as well. Fiberglass is that one window, the whole window, the whole material, the whole system expands and contracts at the same ratio. So they're long lasting, they're extremely durable, super strong, very energy efficient. I love the fiberglass window. We sell a lot of it. We sell it for new homes, replacement, you name it. We just barely did a big job in Park City. You can go check out if you want. Give us a call. Let us know. So just to recap, vinyl windows, composite windows, aluminum windows, fiberglass windows. Hopefully that gave you just a little view into a little bit of each product, maybe why one is better than another. What are the benefits? What are the disadvantages? Anyway, good seeing you. Until next time, see ya.